You are here because the outside world rejects you.
Hey, what's up everyone? The old Ninja Turtles Image comics went from 1996 to 1999, and they brought us some wild moments in the past. It was a brutal time in Turtles history. We've already done videos discussing some of these wild moments, like when Donatello fell to his presumed death, when Raphael got his face blown off, and Leonardo lost a hand. Crazy to think all this came from the, at the time, 23-issue run of these Image comics. It was stacked with scenarios like this. And there's more. One particular event came to mind recently, and I thought we'd talk about it today. So without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and talk about the time Master Splinter turned into a bat and lost his mind. So as some of you may already know, who have either read the Image comics or watched videos here in the past, at the beginning of the Image comics run, the Turtles are ambushed. During this ambush, Splinter is drugged and kidnapped along with a dying Donatello. They are taken away in a helicopter, but Donatello gets loose from his captors and deals with his own unfortunate events. But Master Splinter is taken to a villain named the Dragon Lord's compound. During the flight, he is able to briefly speak to Leonardo through the astral plane when nobody is paying attention, and mentions to him what the scenery looks like around this compound. This will help the Turtles find them later. Splinter is locked up as soon as they arrive and is able to speak to Leonardo once more. Eventually we see Splinter say farewell as he is strapped down in Dragon Lord's laboratory. Dragon Lord's scientists extract blood and cell tissue from Master Splinter. Dragon Lord is excited to learn that Master Splinter has a mutation that contains animal DNA, as he's been disappointed with other mutants that he's captured that have mutations without animal DNA. One in particular that is a parody of Wolverine, named the Weasel. Weasel breaks free during his experiment and is killed immediately. Anyways, we find out some more info after this. When Dragon Lord and Splinter officially meet, Dragon Lord explains he comes from a long line of Japanese rulers and is the last surviving member of the House of the Komodo. He informs Splinter that he is heir to the Dragon Bushido spirit. You start to learn that Dragon Lord thinks Splinter, since he is mutated with animal, could be the key to splicing human and animal DNA for Dragon Lord, and thereby would allow him to unleash the power of the ancient dragon that slumbers inside of him, which as of right now he can't turn into. Unfortunately, Dragon Lord can only turn into a Komodo at random intervals at that, which he keeps a secret from his followers. Splinter ends up seeing one of these random transformations when he and Dragon Lord are ambushed by one of the other prisoners that's being held there. But because Splinter sees this top secret, he is then sentenced to death. After some research, the Turtles end up figuring out where Splinter is being held, and so they arrive at the compound and see that Splinter is inside. We find out that before Splinter is to be killed, Dragon Lord would first like to test a mutagen serum on him. This could possibly kill Splinter or mutate him beyond recognition, as it is said. Just as he is about to be injected, the Turtles break through the windows above and drop down. During the scuffle, Splinter is injected. The Turtles get a hold of him and try to get him away through an underground passage. He is dizzy, but he goes on ahead as the Turtles stay back and fight. Finally, when the Turtles are able to get away, they go to where Master Splinter went and find themselves in a cave. As they look for Splinter, a swarm of bats can be seen in the distance. Hundreds of them fly towards the Turtles, attracted to the light that Donatello is using, so they shut it off to calm down the swarm and walk in the dark for a while to get away. As they walk, one of the Turtles can see something. It appears to be a pair of eyes, so they turn the light back on to see what they're looking at, and we get our first look at Splinter mutated into a giant bat. Light seems to hurt his eyes, and he has trouble speaking. He tells the Turtles not to hurt him by saying, "Not hurt Splinter." It is clear that Splinter has not only changed on the outside, but is also changing mentally. At first, the Turtles don't understand what he is saying, and Donatello almost kills Bat Splinter. Leo says no and explains to his brothers that the bat is Splinter, as Splinter flies away in fear. The Turtles aren't able to keep up with him and decide to go home, that maybe Splinter will come to his senses and go there too. So Splinter never comes home, and the Turtles go about their lives until some leads present themselves. Their first lead appears on a news report on the television. It says that there is bat-like creatures terrorizing Midway City. The Turtles at this time, though, have their hands full with other things, so Leo goes off alone to find Splinter. You hear that there's word that regular citizens are turning into these man-bat-like creatures as well, so it's not just Splinter that's a giant bat anymore. There's others. Once Leo gets to Midway City, he is ambushed by one of these bat creatures. Just as Leo is about to kill it, a local superhero named the Night Watchman stops him. This superhero looks awfully similar to Batman, by the way. Anyways, he explains to Leo that somehow a mutagen is being transferred with the rabies virus. They come to the conclusion that Splinter must have caught rabies in the caves earlier, and now this crazed bat Splinter is transforming regular citizens into these monsters. The Watchman explains he has an antidote to turn them all back into human. Back at the Watchman's place, Leo comes up with a plan to go into the astral plane again and look for Splinter this way. He is able to find him, but Splinter is very confused and out of his mind with pain. The rabies are driving him crazy. This is when back in the real world, at the Night Watchman's place, they are invaded by more followers of Splinter. The Watchman is able to plant a bug on one of them, and it leads them back to Splinter's location. When they find him, he doesn't seem to recognize Leonardo. He addresses him as the demon that haunts him in his dreams, speaking of the astral plane probably. Splinter tries to get away, and Leo tries injecting him with the antidote, but Splinter shakes him off and flies away again. Splinter can be seen here and there throughout the series after this doing some strange things. At one point back in New York, Splinter picks up a dog and eats it. Later on, when Donatello is in the astral plane, he tries to talk to Splinter, who in the real world during this can be heard saying, "Go away, get out of Splinter's dreams. Splinter is tired, just wants to sleep." A police officer patrolling the area at the time can hear him saying this and finds him, which startles Splinter and causes him to fly away again. This is when he sees Raphael, who is on the rooftops. This is when Raphael became the Shredder and led the Foot Clan, by the way. Anyway, Splinter does seem to have some memories of his regular life, even in this primal state that he's in. He says, "Wait, the shiny man, the one with all the sharp blades." Splinter knows him. Splinter remembers. He hates the shiny one. He is Splinter's enemy. And so, mistaking Raphael for Shredder, he proceeds to attack Raphael. Raphael tells the foot soldiers to back off and removes his helmet. He says, "It's me, Raphael. Do you recognize me, master?" Splinter seems to confuse him with the other turtles that have appeared in the astral plane to him, and thinks Raphael is a demon as well as he continues his attack, coming very close to killing Raph. Raph's foot soldiers must have helped him though, because later on we see that Splinter is caught in a cell and Raphael recovers. The rest of the turtles get wind that Splinter is there with the Foot Clan. This is when all four turtles meet up again and try to cure Splinter with the help of one of the Foot Clan's mystical doctor guys named Chang. He directs the turtles to go into the astral plane and distract Splinter while he tries to cleanse the poison from Splinter's blood and unlock his memories. The turtles enter the astral plane and try to calm down Splinter. It doesn't work. Splinter attacks, and the turtles have to fight him without killing him. Leonardo says, "If we die in here, we die in the real world." Splinter handles them pretty easily until Raphael gets an opening and stabs Splinter in the back. This snaps Splinter out of it, and he says, "Thank you, Raphael. My nightmare has ended at last. I am proud of you." For a while there, you're not sure if Splinter lived or died, but you end up seeing that he recovered in the real world and now is back in his regular rat form. Alright everyone, so that's the time Splinter became a bat in the old Image comics, aka the Urban Legends comics. Let me know down below, what do you think? I found it pretty similar to what happens to April's dad in the 2012 Turtles TV series. I wonder if they were inspired in any way by this. Anyways, that's it for this one. Thanks everyone for checking it out. I will see you in a little bit with another one. Take care.
Armed.